Hi, welcome to Revenue Marketing Television, the CMO Insights series. I'm your host, Jeff Pedowitz, President and CEO of the Pedowitz Group. Today as our guest, we have Tifenn Dano Kwan, who is Chief Marketing Officer at SAP Ariba. Tifenn, welcome to the show.
Jeff, it's so great to be here.
It's so good to have you. You have such an amazing background, hailing originally from France, been all over the world, and your journey too to Chief Marketing Officer has also been interesting. Tell us about it.
You know, I come from a small town in Brittany, which is on the west coast of France. And for as long as I remember, my dream was always to see the world, travel, and become an American, which hopefully will be a reality in a couple of months from now. I've been living in America since 2011, loving it, and reflecting on that journey of mine, which started back in France when I did my business school and decided to become a marketer. And when I did that, I quickly jumped into the new technology world because I knew this would be a quick way for me to travel and see the world, but also because it was a perfect fit with my personality and just how curious I am and willing to work together with the people around me. So I started there and quickly, moved to Sydney, Australia, and started this around the world journey, which taught me a thing or two about adapting, a sense of adaptability and curiosity, which I think are really important when we are marketers and really helps us develop a creative sense. But as you know, marketing is much more right now with the rise of digital, and we need to also be extremely data-driven. So it's how do we combine the art of science and the science all together is what I've been learning along the way since I started my career.
And you've been now as CMO about a year, right? A little more than a year?
A little more than a year.
All right. So what's that been like? So I guess first, everything prior, did it prepare you adequately? Or were there still some surprises in your first couple of months that you were learning to deal with?
You know, there are surprises every day. I will say it's a journey, it's not a destination. And, I was reflecting not long ago about the first year and the first steps. And, one of the things about me is I'm a motorcycler. I love motorcycling. I've motorcycled all around the world. And it helps me reflect on the journey and taking a ride, right? And just ensuring that we stay put on the road, but that we learn how to circumvent a couple of obstacles and things. But the thrill of the ride comes also with the challenges and the unknown. And when you jump into this kind of role, you have to expect challenges and you have to expect the unknown. Everything is new. Absolutely everything at that level is new. The people you used to work with, the relationship is new. Everything changes and you have to rapidly adapt and change to really become an effective leader and just make sure that you really self-reflect on what it truly means to be an effective leader and drive the organization. So yes, a lot of surprises. And, there's not a single day where I wake up and the plan goes according to plan, right? You come and you have a couple of things to do, but there's always a phone call, an email, something that you had not planned. And you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable in a way and with the unknown, because that is absolutely part of the job. But I think that as we learn, we also learn to build resilience. And it's incredible what a difference a year makes. I am certainly a different person than I was a year ago.
It's interesting that you mentioned motorcycles and your love for it, because I think the first thing that came to mind was I envisioned balance, on a motorcycle and how important that is, especially when you're weaving in and out or you're on a track. So I guess being a CMO is very much like that too. Where do you find at times though it's hard to keep a balance between all the different demands of today's modern executive?
At first it is, to be honest, because it all comes at once. And how do you make sure that you prioritize the many demands that come your way? How do you make sure that you're effective up and down and laterally and learn to do it? The answer is comes with experience. So I think that what I've also learned is to pace myself and just accept that I'm not going to be good at everything at first. And that's where the magic happens, when you rely on the team that you have around you. So to speak, it becomes an incredible opportunity for empowerment, empowering others to help you along the way achieve your goals. So I think the definition of a team becomes very clear, very, very quickly. And because we are at a point where we are accountable for pretty much everything when it comes to marketing and communication, we have to make sure that we have the right support system, and that resilience is not just a professional resilience. We need to make sure that we have the right support system at work, but believe it or not, the right support system outside of work is equally important.
So speaking of your team, how has all of your experiences shaped your management approach? How do you go about determining who you hire, your management style? How do you motivate? How do you lead?
It's been a journey in itself. A lot of the, people work with me. We used to be peers, and different setups. Some of them I've known for a very long time, and then the relationship changes. But when I started, I inherited leaders, not just managers or team leaders or team managers, really some leaders who were very strong, very effective in what they do. So I had to also adapt to that. How do you go from managing managers to managing leaders? It's a very, very different equation. So you learn along the way, and you learn about yourself as well. And I think that you can't speed up the process of trust and getting to know each other. It really just comes with practicing, learning and adjusting, and keeping really the lines of communication very open. Another thing that I've realized as well is, if you picture any leader that goes into a new role, whether it's in the tech world, in politics, or others, they can't expect them to know everything. They have to rely on people who know best and empower. And this is pretty much what I've learned. And it's been an incredible journey with the incredible leaders that work around me and that support what we're trying to achieve collectively for SAP Ariba.
I've always been fascinated with SAP because I think for some people from the outside, it's this very successful, but some people view it potentially as like old guard kind of company. But for those of us that follow the marketing that SAP has been doing for the last 5 to 8 years, it's anything but. I mean, just very cutting edge with social selling, digital technologies. How do you balance that dichotomy and as you build the brand and take it to market?
I really see marketing as an end-to-end experience. You can look at the traditional way of doing marketing, which is more geared towards branding and events or advertising, the way we used to do it. But you have to also evolve the function of marketing. So it's very much aligned with who you want to become as a marketer. And that matters to me a great deal. At SAP and SAP Ariba, we care about our customers, but you can't care about customers unless you care about employees. And our goal is to really prepare our employees for the future, make sure that we equip them. So it becomes very critical with marketers because the function of a marketer is evolving rapidly. And we have to balance the traditional marketing mix in a way with the new way of doing marketing: digital, inbound-based, data-driven, automated, personalized, relying on disruptive technologies like AI, machine learning. All of those things are coming. So what we need to do is always keep a balance and become more scientific in the way of working. So it means that we need to have people in our team who are either creative people or extremely data scientific oriented. And it's just a matter of keeping the balance and just ensuring that we keep on adapting, and we always have a growth mindset to learn about the new technologies and evolve the function of marketing itself.
So what do you see on the horizon? I mean, obviously tech keeps coming in marketing all the time. A lot of talk about AI, account-based marketing. Beyond that, is there some major thing that's coming down the pike that we should be paying attention to?
One of the things that I have also realized in this year as a marketer, and that was very much the platform and the tenor of my function, is for marketing to become more business oriented. And I was, in fact, very impressed by someone that I considered one of the best speakers I've heard. His name is Sam Walsh. He used to be the CEO of Rio Tinto in Australia, but also a procurement leader. And he said something that resonated really well with me in terms of procurement professional. He said, procurement professionals should see themselves as business people in procurement rather than procurement people in business. And I would absolutely adapt this to the world of marketing. I would absolutely want to see my team and the marketers see themselves as business people in marketing rather than marketing people in business. And that perspective to me is critical. So it's not as much as the technology itself, it's about the place we have in a company. If we want to really be recognized, use the latest technology, whatever, we need to really understand the business. And to understand the business, we need to equip ourselves with the right tools and the right technology. And that is, in my opinion, the way to go. And it has to be really a very strong partnership with sales, with partner ecosystem, all the builders of pipelines and revenue that are part of an organization. So to me, the marketing mindset to be very close to the business, equip them not just with marketing technology, but for them to really understand the business. So any kind of technology that's going to get them closer to sales, closer to the business, and more importantly, closer to the customer.
Very well said. It's I've done this. I think I was telling you you're about my 130th interview, and it's just fascinating to see all the different ways the executives answer the questions. And so the way that you just answered that question around technology was really, I loved it. I really loved it.
Thank you.
So speaking of love, I actually really like the painting behind you. So I'm just curious, on a personal note, what was your inspiration behind that?
My inspiration is my spouse is actually an artist and somebody who is literally the other side of the brain as mine. And we always look to commission art from our friends. And this one was a commission piece. And it's actually a woman playing checkers and looking at a painting, looking at another painting. So that was it. And representing also probably more inspiring empowerment of women. And that pretty much fits right in with the setup of my family and who I am as a person and as a leader.
I love that. So tell us about how do you see yourself as a woman, as an executive, as a family person?
I have no qualm saying that I am an empathetic person. I believe in leadership attributes. What I say to my team all the time, and what I have come to realize over the past couple of years, is to become an effective leader. I truly believe in the power of empathy. I believe in collaboration, and I believe in reliability. I think that those three attributes are critical, and just make sure that we run effectively in a world that is more and more connected. So as a woman, empathy, I think, is important. It allows to build bridges with the world that surrounds us. Collaboration is absolutely critical, in my opinion, especially when you work in matrix organizations and with the rise of the regions and the regionalization and personalization. And reliability talks about outcomes and how we need to just really walk the talk and be extremely results and outcome focused.
I love it. So thank you so much for being on the program. Very inspirational. Tifenn Dano Kwan. We'll definitely look forward to part 2. So I want to learn more about your travels around the globe and then on your ongoing success at SAP Ariba. Thank you, Tifenn.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
You bet.